Yes, guys, and a welcome from me. This is Championship Manager 0102, the Lowend to Legend, Part 9. And we've really smashed out some sessions of late. I mean, yesterday alone, I think we did 4 hours. It didn't feel like it, but it was 4 hours long. The last update was 5 days ago. Now, I've got in front of me, right, that the date 5 days ago was the 1st of July 32. We have smashed through so much. As you can see, the date in the corner is the 13th of November 33. Let's start with Matt. And as you've probably worked out, Matt has left Cardiff. Now, where to start with Matt? Because he managed to finally lead them to the Premiership. You may recall from the stream at the end of the 31-32 season, he fell out the top 6 on the last game of the season, but rightly so, and really it was expected. He stormed his way to the title, you know, he's had a difficult start at Cardiff. He's endured a very difficult start. You can see he's currently sitting 10th in the table, or he was, shall I say, because he has left. He has left. He hasn't been sacked, but he came very close to being sacked. He was on the list, slightly insecure. He won a game and then came off the list and then applied for a job which was sensational that he was offered it. The bizarre thing, right, is that this job came up last season, or shall I say, yeah, probably about just under a year ago. The job that he went to came up, and he went for it and didn't get it. He has moved to West Ham United. Absolute stunning, because just under a year ago he applied for West Ham, and I was having a difficult time at St Mirren at the time, and out of the blue they offered me the job. I didn't even apply. They offered me the job, and I haven't forgiven West Ham for sacking me. Now, let me remind you that West Ham, right, have a real wanker of a chairman, Patience 1, and that's probably what led to them sacking me after a win and leading them to the FA Cup final. Matt applied, Matt got offered, and he's taken it. Now, I think, right, he probably had to leave Cardiff, but I don't know if it's going to be much different at West Ham. He's obviously got a lot better resources. As you can see, he's got a shitload of money, and he's got a very good squad. They sacked their manager when they were in 6th, let me remind you. He's got one future transfer, he told me. Who is it now? So, yeah, he's not bad. So he's going to have 10 signings, as well as that one, 11 signings. So he has to, I mean, look at that. He's only 6 points off the lead. He has to make an assault on the title. And he could well tick the leg off. He really could. I think it's definitely the right thing to do. I think there's no doubt, but I just think, you know, he's got to get results in immediately. He really has got to get them in immediately. Anyway, so I think it was about January last year, something like that. Let's take a look now. So West Ham, right, were available, and they offered me the job. I said no. Matt says, I thought you'd have taken that because I was having a difficult time at St Mirren at the time. However, Matt didn't get the job. I didn't take the job. But who they did? They hired Stephen Robinson. So sorry, it's almost a year ago. So they hired Stephen Robinson on the 22nd of November 32. Now, would you like to venture a guess where Stephen Robinson was managing at the time? He was managing Rangers. So the Rangers job came available, and of course I went for it. And I got it. I am now the Rangers manager. Now, we had a bit of a shit show end to the season. We lost the title on the last game of the season. We lost it, and it weren't to Celtic either. We lost it to Aberdeen. Celtic were nowhere near. We lost it to Aberdeen on the last game of the season. And I feel maybe we're always going to need a full season anyway. So I was a bit angry because we were in the title race, we were in the cup final, and we were in the Europa League final. Well, we lost the Europa League final to Chelsea. We lost the league, but we did win the Scottish Cup, and it was bizarre who we played in the Scottish Cup final because we had St Mirren, who had led their way all the way. The last game of the season, I don't think I'm going to get to this, am I? Oh, I can. The last game of the season, we needed to see Aberdeen lose or draw at Livingston, and they didn't. They won, so we lost the title. But it is what it is. We've made our 10 signings, and so far so good. we're looking good, aren't we? We're looking very good indeed as we approach the halfway stage of the season. Well, still a little bit behind the halfway stage, aren't we? But we are out of the Champions League. The Champions League, we just really struggled. We really did struggle. We had Barcelona in our group, which was never going to be easy. We got through the qualifier, as you can see, but we had. I thought we could do that. I already did, but we were thrashed against Barcelona. But when we were beaten in Besiktas, I was really pissed off. So we're in the Europa League again. It is what it is. And, we go on. Let's take a look at the managerial stats now then. In terms of Scotland, I am superb. And in terms of the world rep, we are good. Let's now go and take a quick look at Matt in that sense. So Matt is very good. This was key because he went up to very good. I think, remember, at Cardiff, he was, not this season, but he was in Europe last season. And he was knocked out against Stuttgart, who I then knocked out on penalties in the next round. But his reputation's gone up a little bit now, and in terms of all nations, he's good. So I was looking for Matt here, weren't I? I thought it might bring me to Matt. Well, let's see what Matt is. Are we going to find him? There he is. Whoa, there he is. Okay, he's average. He's average on the world rep. I think, right, he can win the title this season. He'll get, he's very early. I think it's expected. In fact, we might be able to see that, actually. Let's have a look at board confidence. Oh, no, wait. Oh, maybe it will tell us, because he's only just taken over. So let's have a look at news. Oh, yeah, there you go. There you go. It was absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. I think what he'll do is he'll go to Cardiff, and he had some absolute stunning players at Cardiff. He brought in, he had the Mo Salah regen. He'll go for him. He's done shit. He got the Neymar regen as well. Or he had, so I think he'll go for both of them. I also think he'll look to go to Leeds. Leeds, of course, are the team that he cannot be, because I won it with Leeds. Leeds, of course, have got Lewandowski regen, Ronaldo regen, amongst others. Who else have they got? I thought they had Modric regen as well. No, but they've got Rigbers, who's a great player. I think he'll go over. They've got Van Dijk, I think, regen as well. Where's he gone? Where's Van Dijk? There, Platt. They've got some absolute stunners, and I think he'll go there. Now, he did say, right, last season, Leeds came available, and he goes, oh, what a shitter. But we did make an agreement. You cannot move to a team where one of us have already been and won it. Now, of course, that means he could go to West Ham. Even though I've been West Ham, I didn't win it with West Ham. I left West Ham. Otherwise, it would make it unfair on Matt that he couldn't go to West Ham, he couldn't go to Leeds, he couldn't go to Stockport, he couldn't go to Hartlepool. So we agreed it can only apply to a team that I won it with, which I think is fair enough. So it'd be very interesting to see how he flares up this season with West Ham United. I think he'll do well. He's got to have a good start. He's got to have a really good start. Plenty of money, great stadium, and of course, for me, Rangers, well, first and foremost, we have to win the title. We've got to win that title. We made some signings over we got one player on loan, actually. The money's not too much of a problem, but I just think maybe this season we can do it. And at the same time, we're in the Europa League. If we can continue to build that world rep, we can then maybe, but just maybe, move on to the third leg. The third leg, England and Scotland could be ticked off within the next 7 months or so. Who knows? Who knows? That's it from me, guys. Till next time, take it easy.